Kellee. I'm your host, Kellee, and today we have a great guest for you. His name is Aaron Marcus. So don't go away, we'll be right back. Hi, and welcome to Fashion Tips with Kellee. Well, today I put together my little outfit. You see, when you're creating an outfit, like you're going to school or you're going to a big convention, well, you gotta look a little chic. So what I did is I grabbed a little blouse, tucked it under the the skirt, and as you can see, we have a little chic outfit. It's all made into one. Wow. As you can see, I had a little accessories to dazzle up the outfit. And then I created the outfit with some little silver flats. And I put my hair in a little bun to make it all chic. Well, I hope you're enjoying the show for Fashion Tips with Kellee. So if you have any ideas, well, you can be on the show. Just contact us. We'll be right back. On Disney Cruise, it's all more. To go camping? On a ship? Why not? The tents are ready and the stars are in the sky. So gather around and get set for a fun night of adventures at Oceaneers Camp Out. No big adventures hide into life at Disney. Thank you. Well, welcome back. We're here with Mr. Lou Bernaz. So, Mr. Lou, what do we have in our hands?
These are the Kellee Awards we've won. Some of them. We won 15 total. And
wow.
We won some silver, which is the highest, and the bronze, which is the next level down. And we won them for the children's shows. So 3 of them won for our children's shows. This one particular one was the last one they had of that style. They made them change. Academy Awards made them change the style. They said it looked too much like an Oscar. So this is the newer style.
He does look like an Oscar. Well, hopefully we'll have one for this show. Mm-hmm. Well, these are, most of the awards, Kellee Awards. And, they look really, really beautiful.
This is judged by your peers. The peers judge you how you do. And we are actually judges ourselves on the board every year. We judge other people. They send us through the email. Not email, through the line, clips of those. It shows that they're going to be judged. We judge it whether we like them or not. And so that's how it works. And it's a lot of people getting involved. We're up against Coca-Cola and Oprah and all these people. We're in it with the biggies.
Wow, that's amazing experience. So, when does the Kellee Awards show? When's the date for it?
Well, these are done twice a year, and it's worldwide. There's 16,000 people put in for these, to win these.
Wow.
Because you have the silver, which is the top 10%. Then the bronze is the next 20%, and then they have some honorable mentions.
Wow, well, you must have been really proud to win these for so much.
Definitely.
Well, I'm really glad to be here with my executive producer and enter the Kellee Awards.
Yeah, we won out of our 15. We won 4 silver, which are very hard to win. And we'll try to get you see what you come up with, and then we pick out the ones that we send in, a couple of them, and see maybe this show will go in. We've been doing pretty good so far.
Well, thank you. And these look so much like an Oscar. Well, we'll be right back, so don't go away. Here on Camera with Kellee. Hi, and welcome to Little Tex. We're here with the young Barbizon model, John. So, John, tell us about your experience.
First, if you do a runway, you first have to walk. Then you make a pose.
Can you do a little pose for us? There you go. What else?
And sometimes if you go on the children's corner, you play pirates, sword fighting.
That's fun. So what shows have you done?
Captain Barnable, the children's corner.
Well, John, I hear you do commercials.
Do you like Legos?
Yes.
I do too.
Well, that's cute. So, John, I hear you've done acting. Well, did you bring a clip of you being on the Captain Baltimore show?
Yes. Want to go see it?
Yes, have a look at this.
John?
Charlie.
Charlie? Okay, and Donovan, dude.
That was fun! Can we see you do the runway again?
Okay.
That was amazing. Well, that was our Young Barbizon, dude. So check it out. Well, John, you're a very good actor, and thank you for being on my show. Well, we will be back, so don't go away. Hi, and welcome to On Camera with Kellee. Today's special guest is Mr. Aaron Marcus. So, Mr. Marcus, how did you get into the business?
Well, I was a full-time college student, and I needed a job to help pay the bills. And I met an actor. He told me what he did, the commercials he did, the TV shows that he worked on, and I thought, wow, that sounds really cool. So what I did was I started acting on a part-time basis while I was a full-time college student. And after doing that for 2 years, I decided, instead of being a physical therapist, I want to be an actor. So I gave it a shot for 1 year just to kind of see what it was like. And that's what I've been doing for 27 years.
Wow, were you scared at first of, changing your mind?
That's a great question. Not only was I scared at first, but there are things today that still scare me. I just worked on an NBC show called Do No Harm, and that was scary. When I worked on West Wing, that was scary. When I worked on The Wire, that was scary. Actually, I just had, and this was probably the highlight of my career, I just had a scene with Judi Dench in a movie that they shot for a couple of days in the DC area called Philomena. And I was the priest, and she comes in for a confessional, and I was scared to death. But the cool thing is, and when I do a lot of workshops, and I teach actors that it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be frightened.
It is.
The important thing is, don't let other people see it, and use the energy of that fear to help your performance.
Wow, really, that's great advice. And how did you get your jobs, like acting, TV? How did you get to be on TV?
Well, the first thing that I did was I found a local agent, and the agent would submit me for auditions.
Wow.
And fortunately, I started booking some of the jobs, and then I started getting other agents in other markets. And so at the beginning, it was primarily through agents, and then I started getting a lot of repeat business. I also learned how to market myself, which is also something that I teach in workshops, where actors really need to learn to run their business in a way where they can try to get work on their own, and that's what I do.
Wow, that's very inspiring. Is there what types of shows have you been on?
Well, I mentioned a couple of them before. Let's see, Law and Order is another TV show that I did. The Criminal Intent one, that was great. And also there have been some independent films, some feature films that I've done. I've done, as of today, 1,196 jobs.
Wow, that's a lot. So I live in the Virginia area. How do I, get agents to do work?
Okay, well, one thing to keep in mind is that agents can't get you work.
True.
And I know that sounds a little bit unusual because people think, well, of course agents get me work. No, agents can't get you work. What agents can do is they can submit you to auditions. Once you book the job, they can negotiate for you, but you're the one who actually has to book the job. So if you want to find an agent, there are many different ways of finding agents. One way, and here's a simple way, on my website, howtomodel.com, I have a link. It says find an agent. Just click on the link, and I've got, probably about 280 agents listed there. Those are agents from every state in the U.S. And just find, the area that you want to work in, put in a zip code, and you'll find a bunch of agents.
Wow, that's, amazing. You just go to the website and just click on, and you'll, find an agent.
Now, do you have an agent, or are you looking for an agent?
I had a couple of agencies, but, I'm also looking for, jobs, to book. And
Yeah, excuse me, because you had mentioned that you went to New York as well?
yeah, I've been to New York, and I went to New York. I went to this modeling convention. I got called back to, one of the agents. They're like, I'm in New York, we can meet, talk about, your career. We've been to New York many of times, talking about the industry. And then I've done a couple workshops with the agencies, and so.
That's great.
Yeah.
And that's important. When you mention workshops, people don't understand. This is a business like every other kind of business. And the more knowledgeable people are, the better the chances are you're going to have success. So I really respect what you're doing, taking great workshops. I think that's really helpful.
It is very, very helpful. Even if you're, a newbie in this industry, you have to see, how to, proper manners about, being on TV, how to do commercials and monologues and all that. And I suggest you do workshops.
Well, I guess I'm a pretty good example of this. I've been doing this full time for over 27 years, and I took a workshop, studied with somebody locally about 3 months ago.
Wow.
I thought it was time to take a workshop, so I hired this guy, worked with him privately, and it was great. And so for people who say, well, I've already done this a lot, I really don't need to learn any, well, that's the time to leave the industry, because like with anything else, you've got to continue to learn and practice and really be great at what you're doing.
Yeah, I've been going to one of my, classes, how I got into in the industry, and I'm going, currently, I'm going to be taking them again and again until I'm 18.
Well, that's great. And, the other thing, too, is especially when you take workshops that are great with people who are in the industry, that also, it's a good way to network as well. And that's another really important thing. And I know there's a little bit of a side topic, but I know sometimes people say that they don't want to do extra work because, well, for a variety of reasons. And I understand. There are some actors who don't want to do extra work.
Yeah.
I feel differently about it. Now, if you are in LA, like for instance, and you are only doing extra work where you're only going to be considered an extra. For some reason on the East Coast, I find that there are plenty of people that do extra work one day and do principal work the next day. And so as long as you don't constantly do extra work, I think it's really helpful. But one of the reasons why it's helpful is not only can you really learn a lot about the industry, but also you get a chance to network with other talent and other actors. And you talk with people and you find out who are the new agents in the area, what projects are coming to town, who's teaching what classes and things like that. So, as much experience as you can get is really, really helpful.
Well, speaking of that, we're having fun here, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back on Little Text. Well, we here is our guest, Katie. So, Katie, do you do modeling and acting? Can you show us a little runway walk you have for us today? Well, that was cute. So, have you done acting?
Yes.
What type of shows have you been on?
Well, a pirate show.
And what was the pirate show called?
Captain Baltimore.
Well, let's have a look at this.
Okay, and yours?
Fluffy.
Fluffy, all right.
Wasn't that cute? Well, Katie, tell the viewers about your pageant.
Well, when I was 4, it was my first pageant, and I was really scared because I thought I was gonna trip, and I kept on looking down, and then I didn't get no trophies or nothing, but then a big girl calmed me down backstage.
Well, how did she calm you down?
Well, he calmed me down like she said she gave me a big hug. That's how she calmed me down.
Well, that's very nice. Well, what did you learn from that?
Well, I learned not to be afraid.
You learned not to be afraid? Well, that's very nice to learn because a lot of people are scared. And I remember when I was your age, and look at me now. I'm on TV and I'm speaking to you. You should be very proud of yourself for getting over your fear. Do you love modeling and acting?
Yes.
Oh, that's cute. Well, do you do singing and dancing?
Well, I do dancing.
You want to dance with us?
Okay.
There you go. Well, I love for you to be on my show. Well, thank you, and you're very, very good.
Thank you.
Well, we'll be right back, so don't go away. So, welcome back. We're here with Mr. Aaron Marcus. So, Mr. Aaron, I heard you do online, workshops. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. I still do a lot of in-person workshops, and I've done over 500 workshops in 4 different countries, from Australia to Mexico, throughout Canada, the States. And I guess about 2 years ago, I decided to start offering some workshops online as well. And these workshops are incredible. I typically will do them once a month, and I pretty much always have a special guest who I will interview. And this allows people to attend the workshop, in their pajamas if they would like. And the best thing is, even if they can't attend the day of the workshop, if they have things going on, it gets recorded. So that way you will get a link, and you can watch it anytime you want, anywhere, as many times as you would like.
Wow, so what's one of the special guests you have
Well, actually, if you would like, I can even show you a little clip. I have one with John Strawbridge, who is a local, multifaceted guy in the industry, from casting to a writer, directs as well. And if you want, we'll show you a little clip with John Strawbridge.
Well, have a look at this.
So, John, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Aaron. Thank you.
Great. Okay, so what I wanted to do was start from the very, very beginning. And let's say an actor gets a phone call from an agent about an audition, or like in today's time period, we're finding out about auditions, online. What are some of the first things that you would recommend an actor to do as soon as they find out about an audition?
Well, there's 2 things you got to be aware of. First, you got to be aware of the business things that you got to check out, and then the things that you as an actor need to know to start to prepare for your audition. So just business, professional-wise, you got to make sure that you're getting information about when it's going to shoot, make sure that you're available, where it's going to shoot, make sure it's something that you can get to or don't have any problems with, and anything else that may matter to you, whether it's a daytime shoot or a nighttime shoot, or inside or outside, or cold or hot, or those kinds of things.
Well, that was a really great example of your online workshops. Hey.
John is great. Not only is he a really talented guy, he's also just a really, really nice human being. And it's nice when you have both of those traits about you.
Wow, so, what's one of the subjects you talk about in your workshops?
Well, they vary. It can be anything from teaching people how to create great headshots, commercial photos, finding an agent, finding a manager, how to market yourself, get work on your own. There are just tons and tons. I also, once a year, I offer an acting and modeling summit. And this year's summit, I am going to have over 26 industry professionals who I will be interviewing. And the thing that's amazing about this summit is that it's free, and people from literally around the world. I started the summit last year, and I had people from Australia, South Africa, Europe, all throughout North America attend. We had thousands of people. And the one for 2013 will be twice as big. I'm going to have probably about 26, maybe 27 guest speakers for this one. It's a 2-day event, and if you want any more information about it, just go to www.howtomodel.com, and you can get all the information about the summit. But it's incredible, it's free, and you will meet just amazing industry professionals.
Wow, that was very interesting. Well, we'll be right back, so don't go away.
Actually, what I can do is I'll bring up my book.
Hi, and welcome to Kellee's Corner. Well, my name is Kellee. I've been in the industry ever since I was 8 or 9, and I started the business. I was doing small pageants, and one of my very first pageant was in front of thousands of people, and I won second place. Well, one of my critiques to giving, to get rid of my nerves is you can just breathe in and out and just say, I can do this. I believe in myself. Those are one of the things you can get rid of your nerves. And sometimes it helps on stage. Well, that's it for today on Kellee's Corner. See you next time. Hi, and welcome back. So I'm here with Mr. Aaron Marcus, who wrote How to Become a Successful Model. So, what is a commercial model?
Well, that's a good question, because a lot of times people have no idea what commercial modeling is all about, and when they hear commercial modeling, they think of fashion modeling, and they think of runways, and here's the short version. Fashion models typically are going to be between 5'9" and 6 feet tall, at least for the women, and men are going to be between 6 feet and 6 feet 2, wear a size 40 jacket. Commercial model, and one other thing with fashion models, you've got to be very young to get started. If you are over 21 and you haven't really made it in the industry, it's going to be very difficult to really become a major fashion model. In the commercial modeling world, you see commercial models everywhere. You see us on billboards, on posters, on the sides of buses, on the internet, in brochures, in junk mail. You see us all over the place, and the thing that's so cool with commercial modeling, and one of the reasons why I love doing commercial modeling, is they need everybody. They need infants, they need people in their 80s, they need people with great bodies, people who are overweight, they need people who look like nerds, people who are beautiful and handsome. And one of the things that I really love about it is the fact that it gives me an opportunity to use my acting skills. So if I get cast for an ad, let's say it's a pharmaceutical, and it's somebody who has heartburn, well, I might have to show a lot of pain in my stomach and do it in a believable way. So they don't want to just see a model. They want to see somebody who can really act and portray those emotions in a believable way. And so, yeah, I spent about 5 years putting this book together, How to Become a Successful Commercial Model. It's now in its 5th edition. And for people who would like to get more information about it or to order it, you can go to my website, howtomodel.com. And the book is just invaluable. It will just teach you everything from cover letters for agents. It will teach you about vouchers, model release forms, how to market yourself, how to put together great commercial photos. It's just a really, really great book for anybody who wants to get work in the acting or commercial modeling industry.
Oh, wow, thank you for telling us. Well, so basically commercial modeling is like a commercial. Like, you're performing your commercial, but you're also modeling at the same time.
Right. It's not a TV commercial. Those are commercial actors. Commercial models, you see us in every non-fashion advertisement. These are all still pictures. So, it can be anything from Time Magazine to Reader's Digest to teen magazines. Any place that's not a fashion magazine, you will see commercial models.
Wow. So this book basically tells you, how to...
How to. That's exactly what it is. It's a cookbook for how to get work as an actor and a commercial model.
Wow, this is very handy if you want to be a commercial model. Wow. So what got you inspired to write a book about it?
That's really interesting. I'm glad you asked that. What happened was I was doing some workshops, some acting and modeling workshops, and I found that people were constantly calling me and emailing me and asking me questions. And what I found was I just couldn't spend the time that was needed to answer these questions, so I decided it's time to write a book. And that way I can really explain it to people in great detail. And I share all of my experiences. I share with people some of the mistakes that I've made, and I certainly have made plenty of mistakes, so that way, others won't make those mistakes. Yeah. And I teach people, how, basically, what I do on a day-to-day basis, how to have success, and how to avoid the pitfalls.
Wow. I mean, it's very, if people who want to do commercial modeling, and if they don't know how to, they could just, get your book.
They can just get the book. And basically, it's like any other kind of business. You need to have experience. You need to learn how the business works. And for people who have this concept of, I'm just going to be discovered. Yeah. People are going to notice me because I'm so good. Well, look, some people hit the lottery as well, but it's very rare. Basically, you want to run your acting and modeling business as a business, just like any other kind of business. So you need to get the information. And what happens for a lot of people is they spend years and years of doing things by trial and error, spending a tremendous amount of money unnecessarily, getting roped into situations that they really shouldn't be getting involved with. And so what I do in both my book as well as in my workshops, and even I do private consultations with people, both online, mostly online, is I can really prevent people from wasting a lot of time. Because what I really find is that there are a lot of people who really have the skills, have the looks to work in the industry. What they don't have is the information. And they'll go out and spend a tremendous amount of money on photos that really don't work for them. They get involved with agencies that are not really good agencies, and then they wind up giving up simply because they didn't reach their success. And the thing is, they could have if they'd gotten the information.
So I suggest to the viewers at home to get this book if you really, really need information on how to for modeling. So, speaking of, modeling, I wanted to do, this little club, but it was about fashion being on runway. But I wasn't tall enough because, as being a fashion editorial model, you have to be, 5...
Typically, if you want to be a high fashion model, I'm talking about like a serious supermodel, you're looking at people who are going to be between 5'9" and 6 feet tall. Typically, the measurements are 34, 24, 34. Basically, they're like NBA basketball players in the sense of there are some people in this world who are born with certain statistics and have the skills to run up and down the court and hit three-pointers and, like in the fashion industry, have the ability to make the clothes look alive when they're walking down the runway. And by the way, just so you guys know, the reason why you need those really crazy statistics, I shouldn't say crazy, those very specific statistics is because the designers of the clothes believe that their clothes, their samples will look best in a certain size. So basically the models have to fit into their samples. They don't make samples for the models. That's why you need to have those specific statistics.
Well, it's a good thing that you said that because, I'm 4'11", and I love to do runway. I love to be on stage and work the runway, but I'm not high enough. So that's why commercial modeling can also be a little something I can do besides and print modeling as well.
Right, and just so that people understand, if you don't have the height for the fashion world, that doesn't mean that you might not be able to still do some runway work on a local level for bridal shows and things like that. But if you're really thinking about pursuing it seriously, then it's going to be an issue. But you're right. I mean, you've got a great commercial look for commercial print modeling, which is the same as commercial modeling. Print modeling, commercial modeling, it's the same thing. And that's something that you should be pursuing.
Yes.
You've got a great look for that.
Well, thank you. I always, wanted to do fashion runway editorial stuff, but then I also, since I don't have the eye, I can also do commercial modeling.
Absolutely, you can do commercial modeling.
Well, thank you. So I can just get the book and I'll know how to.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for being on my show.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It was great being here. And Kelly, really, you did a great job.
Well,
you really did.
Thank you. Well, that's it for today on Camera with Kelly. Bye.
Hey, when you're hosting your NBC show, keep me in mind, all right?
Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Well, that's it for today on Camera with Kelly. Goodbye!